If you haven't gathered by the music, it's a Doctor Who special. Shut up, both of you. That's it. That's all I'll do for the intro.
All right.
Then.
Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers and geeks alike, Time Lords, Time Ladies, Daleks, Weeping Angels, and Silurians. It's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast, and it's a special. It's the Doctor Who first episode of Chris Chibnall's run. It's going to be interesting. And as always in these podcasting journeys, I have my stalwart, Nigel.
No, hang on.
Say hello. Nigel.
Hello.
And not to forget the £500 gorilla in the room.
Who can't stop over talking.
No. I take exception at the fact that he's always here. He fucked off and bought a car. No. I've always been here the last few weeks. It's been me that's been stable.
No,
you fucked off running around Paris. This bastard was buying a car. No.
Right, hold on a second, right?
Mr. Reliable. Me. Like an old car.
I'd just like to point out you're doing a Mortal Kombat here, where you've pretty much been spotty in your appearances throughout the year, so we can count you as losing, and then you turn up and have a few appearances in a row, which will count as winning, and you want to declare overall victory. It doesn't work like that.
Yes.
Well, Keith, you are the fullback guy.
I knew that was coming.
Very special visitor.
Well, it's a special podcast.
Okay.
He's very reliable.
All right. So let's talk about Doctor Who, because I've been catching up on Doctor Who all over this weekend, just so I can have a history of what went wrong with classic Doctor Who, just to see if there are any reoccurring patterns, shall we say. And I watched some Tom Baker, which was the Planet of Cybermen or something along those lines, and another one with some Daleks, and it was fucking awesome. And I kind of miss classic Who, because even New Who's not like classic Who was, with the half-hour episodes with the cliffhangers. So we've now got New Who, New Again, by Chris Chibnall, with Mandy Jodie. Jodie Whittaker. She looks like a Mandy. Playing the Doctor. So let's just start off with an overall feeling of what it's like. I'll start with you, Nige.
Yeah, because I feel that I'm coming from probably a much less biased point of view, because I couldn't call myself, what do you call them, Whovians, is that right?
Yes.
Whovian.
The Whovian sounds like a vacuum cleaner enthusiast.
Yeah, but he is right.
Yeah, it is a vacuum cleaner.
He's right. It is Whovian.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I wouldn't class myself as one of those Whovians. So
one of those. Oi.
Like you two.
I regard myself as who you looking at.
When
it comes to science fiction.
Doctor, who are you looking at?
Doctor, who are you looking at?
I'm now picturing a massive fucking seagull going, "Oh, it's my fucking chip."
Sorry, carry on.
So, yeah, because I'm new to the whole Who universe thing from Matt Smith, he was my first proper Doctor, and you guys are experienced Doctor Whovians. So, I've come at this from a less biased background, if you can say. And I have to say, I watched it with the family, including the kids, who weren't interested at all in Peter Capaldi's Doctor. But they sat and watched the entire episode in this one. So not once in the previous Doctor did they watch any of the episodes. At all. Not interested.
Can I ask you one question, because you just brought up about your kids. Did you feel any of that was inappropriate for kids?
Just the bit where he was taking their teeth.
I thought he cracked his skull open and
I
slept
thought
out
he
his
had.
brain the first time. I thought, oh, that's bad. Then it still goes to, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
It's just that they showed it a little bit more. The first time you didn't see much, did you, with that bloke in the garage? But they implied it was something bad, and then they showed it a little bit more where he's grabbing his face and going to the side, and you're thinking, why is he snapping his neck if he's just fucking killed it? You know, you don't until he explains with the fucking teeth face that he had on.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird. My son sat there and went, ugh, like when he saw his face. It was fucking, a bit weird. Probably for kids, a bit weird. That's the only thing that I thought was just maybe a bit off. But the kids didn't seem to be too bothered by it. One thing that they did like, and they did like Bradley Cooper. Is it Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Walsh.
Bradley Cooper
Bradley
is
Walsh.
the voice of Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, that's right, yeah. No, Bradley Walsh. They like him because he's in the chase.
Oh,
and they like the chase.
Okay, fair enough.
So they like him. I liked his character. I thought his character was nice. He brought a side of what the fuck do you think you're doing to everybody. His missus who died, she was incredibly either brave or stupid, I'm not sure, because he was trying to be reasonable. Why are you walking towards a thing that seems to be looks like it wants to kill people, sort of thing?
Yeah.
I thought the way they linked everyone with the police officer was spurious, but fine. They knew each other at primary school, and I understand that if you've seen them at primary school, two kids know each other at primary school. When they grow up and they're out of school and they're in their 20s, are they going to recognise each other very well? Probably not. But he recognised the name.
Yeah.
That's how they recognised each other. So I thought that was actually okay, the way they recognised each other, because they didn't recognise her by sight. They recognised each other and went, oh, my name's this. And she went, oh, I remember that name.
Realistic. I know people from school. I recognise them now. Even in that young school, I can recognise them. They're grown up, but you kind of recognise most people from school.
I wouldn't recognise a single person at my primary
I've just got
school.
to think for faces.
Yes, I personally wouldn't. I don't know about you guys.
Right.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I've kind of the data's in my head, but it's in like long-term storage.
Yeah, but you know when you see somebody, it'll trigger it. I mean, I've seen people that I haven't seen for years, and I went to school with them.
Apparently, there's loads of people who know me who I don't fucking know.
All right, fair enough.
My mum works with a woman called Mel, and apparently she was the year below me. She really liked me at school. Never fucking knew her. Go figure.
Yeah, I have had some people in the past come up to me and go, Nigel? I'm like, yeah. And you know when you get that whole, who the fuck are you? And you're sitting there in your brain going, who the fuck, who's this? You know, and I have had that in the past where I'm sitting there going, and then they start talking to you and you're going, they're going to say something in a minute that's going to remind. So I think it's true that you'll probably remember a name from a class or something at primary school. You might not necessarily recognise them by sight.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I think that's, fair enough. Anyway.
All right, let's go to how Keith felt about... Before we go into details, because I just want a general feeling of how Keith felt about the episode. Don't let me influence you. Don't get it wrong.
I like... Fuck you. I liked the look of it, if that makes sense. I don't know if the production value was any better, but I kind of liked the slightly wider screen look of it.
That's all they had. That's the only difference.
Where the fuck was the music?
Production wise, it looks the same as before.
Where
right?
the fuck was the intro?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Doctor Who.
It just went straight in.
There was nothing. There was just 1 hour, and then you get a theme that really is basically the old theme. There might have been a tiny bit in there, but hey, Doctor Who has been instrumental since it came back, and now we just switch back to the very sort of original 60s sounding theme tune. at the end, which
I like the 80s one with the real. Have you heard the 80s one with real high impact sting at the beginning?
Yeah,
I'd like that. That's the John.
That's
John Nathan Turner
sound that sticks.
Yeah.
I got annoyed very quickly, with the fact that they keep ramming it down my neck that I should embrace change. I'm a Doctor Who fan. I've embraced 13 different fucking doctors. I get it. I don't need to be told it every 5 seconds. Stop telling all the fucking people that hate women. Because actually, within about 20 minutes, I didn't see a woman. I saw the Doctor. I know some other people have an issue, but I saw the Doctor there. I have a few issues with her. But I think that will come, or at least I hope it was. The thing that Tennant and Matt Smith did so well is they could switch on a night. They could go from the comedy sort of nutty professor and switch. And there was a moment when she was up on the crane where she realised who she was, and she should have gone dark, and she didn't. So there wasn't like, I'm the Doctor kind of thing. But you know how there was no sense of, not malice, but power behind that.
Okay.
And that bothered me.
Tell him to make Keith pause so Nigel can talk, because I told Nigel to pause and now he won't talk. Talk, Nigel.
That's because the thought I had after listening to Keith had fucked off somewhere.
Alright, okay.
And I sat there going, what was I thinking?
I was trying to wait for...
I know.
I was trying to wait for an appropriate moment to let you in.
The issue is, Keith goes on.
On.
For a natural break to occur. Anyway, no, I'm joking. I can't really remember what I was about to say, but do you think that was it? Do you think you mentioned at the start there it just went straight in? Do you think they foregoed the start theme music to have that shit bit at the end where they're just showing names?
Yes.
To fit in that certain slot of an hour.
I don't know what they were thinking by doing that.
I do not get all the actor names. It's like most of the actors.
Hang on, no, stop. I just want to.
None of them were in the thing.
I want to go through how everyone felt about Doctor Who, and then I was going to go through the characters, and then I was going to cover the stories, and then we were going to save the weird fucking bit at the end.
Yeah,
I really wanted to say that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get how you felt about the episode. So Nigel was like kind of, it was better than Capaldi. Yeah. You were like, I can't fucking remember what you said now.
Because I hadn't finished my initial thoughts.
Sorry, that was my.
Finish your thought.
I didn't dislike it. I got annoyed in several places, and especially towards the end again, where they keep telling me. Where she kept having these lines that just felt out of place, and they were just purely there to chastise anybody that had issues with the change. And it's just like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to constantly remind me how. And the dyspraxia thing, right? Again,
we'll save that for when we talk about the Ryan character, because I felt that
it was hammed in there.
It was. Remember the Hungry Earth episode with the kid with the dyslexia?
Yeah,
that was kind of crowbarred in there.
Yeah.
So yes, right. So come
on. I think I'm going to like her.
You think you're going to like her?
Yeah, I think I'm going to like her. I think I'm going to get really fecking annoyed by all the politics and the writing. The woman that Nigel mentioned, that it was blatantly obvious, almost within a second of that episode beginning, that she was going to die.
No, we were just waiting for
it. I was waiting the whole episode. It's like, because of all the fucking prequel shit, and Bradley Walsh goes on. The minute you sort of established that Bradley Walsh was the husband to this thing, and that he was a step granddad, I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, that just cliched up already.
Okay. Oh yeah, actually.
And it was kind of
step granddad, yeah.
It was kind of obvious that she was going to die, and it was like there was some lazy writing on show though.
That's the Chris Chibnall factor.
And I suppose, can I mention my biggest thing is the thing that I was dreading.
Go on then.
And that is it is going to be 10 episodes of her searching for the fucking TARDIS, and it's just like no, Doctor Who and the TARDIS are synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
I do not want 10 episodes of her searching. I don't want a Star Trek Voyager kind of trope where she's trying to get home kind of thing, because that's essentially what it is. It's been done so many times.
They did it with Capaldi, though.
They did it with fucking Red Dwarf.
Capaldi,
he was searching for himself.
Was himself, not the thingy. Yeah.
They did it with Red Dwarf, and
there's a reason they did it with Red Dwarf. The reason they did it with Red Dwarf is at a convention they destroyed the Red Dwarf model by accident.
Yes, I know.
And they couldn't film any more because they were like, shit, how do we do this without the actual Red Dwarf model?
But there was a reason. I know there was a funny. It's a very Red Dwarf funny reason why they did it, but it's been done.
Yes,
it's been done and done and done.
Ulysses
they can't put it on a budgetary reason. How much does it cost to make one fucking set and having a spinning blue box? But now we're going to have 10 episodes with no blue box, and it just. Are you trying?
I'm not sure about that, Keith.
Oh no, we are.
Because they do go to another planet in the next episode.
But she used some space folding device.
But she beamed into space. Anyway, we don't want to talk about.
I think we're going to have 10 episodes of her searching for the TARDIS. This is why they haven't mentioned the TARDIS. Every time anybody asks them about it, they've been fucking cagey about it. This is 10 episodes of her using some... this is Sliders in space with Doctor Who.
I like Sliders, though.
I like Sliders, but it's been done. It's not original.
I love beef Sliders. They're gorgeous.
So what did you think,
So this is what I thought, right? And I'll sum it up using a metaphor, yeah? And it goes like this, yeah?
Love a metaphor.
All right? Got a 2-litre bottle of Diet Coke in the fridge, yeah? It's full. It's been in the fridge. It's cold. You are hot and you are thirsty. You open it up, yeah? Makes it like tss, and has no fizz. Still tastes great because it's cold, but it's not as refreshing as drinking that fizzy drink that you would have been used to.
You're essentially saying that the episode was flat.
Yes, the episode was flat. I describe it as flat, and I think my problem with it that kind of sucked the feeling out for me was the music.
Yeah,
because the music was like, because remember I always made the joke, yeah, in Doctor Who, yeah, it gets to a point, Doctor figures it out, cue the music, save the day, and
there was no cue music.
And there's the bit on top of the crane where she says she's the Doctor. Now, if you go back and watch the 11th hour, when Matt Smith's on top of the building, and he steps out from the hologram, and he goes, "I'm the Doctor." The music happens, and you go, "Fucking believe you." Yeah? Now, poor Jodie Whittaker had to sell being the Doctor without the music helping her. Yeah? The others, David Tennant had the similar thing when he stepped out in front of Sycorax on the fucking asteroid thing that they're flying around. Yeah? That is the bit where I felt that I missed some of the old stuff. Yeah?
Yeah.
So if you can, that's what my feeling was. It was like, at the moment, in my eyes, Jodie Whittaker is not the Doctor, because the first episode, when the Doctor, after a Doctor regeneration, the Doctor's manic, doesn't know quite what they're doing. They don't really settle into the role. The same thing with the dialogue, because the dialogue, you listen to most of the smart writers will sit down at lunch and talk to the actors to get their dialogue patterns down, and then when they get those dialogue patterns down, they can then incorporate it into the story. It's like the first, if you watch Battlestar Galactica, 7 episodes until they got that stuff nailed down. Guess when it started getting good? 7 episodes in.
Yeah, you're right.
And same with Michael J. Michael Straczynski. When he was doing B5, he did exactly the same. Do you know
that 7 episode thing you used exactly the same thing when Capaldi started. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying I don't want that again. I do not want, because we've got 10 episodes.
You don't want 3 from the end when you figure out she's the Doctor.
Yeah, I know. That moment on the crane.
Although she did say she's a Doctor.
There was a bit where you hear the dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, but no, you needed orchestral music. I'm the Doctor. Switch to hard ass, and boom.
Yeah.
But there is something that I did notice on that crane episode.
Apart from why are they working really fucking late at night? Isn't that against health and safety?
I think I'm going to say this now. That lad on top of the crane.
There's nobody else there. What's he doing working by himself?
Yeah, everyone's going home.
And then suddenly, out of nowhere, there was people, which they were shepherding out.
Despite them saying there's going to be no arcs and all this crap, I got a feeling we haven't seen the last of that lad on the crane.
I'm hoping there's a fucking arc of sorts.
I don't think we've seen the last of them, because she turned around to him and she went, "You shouldn't have done that," and then it was just left. And Doctor Who, okay, I know this is a new writer, but that was almost like, maybe we haven't seen the last of this lad.
All right.
The way he kept going, I'm special, blah, 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 they made quite a play on that.
Okay. All right. I know why they made a play on that.
He did, actually.
Because that's do you know what an incel is?
Yeah, no, go on.
An involuntary celibate person. That's a political poke.
Okay.
That character's a political poke, but incels. A guy called Elliot Rogers, you might want to look into it, and some other people. They blame women for everything, and they don't like it when they have gender swaps like this.
There were lot. I mean,
okay, right.
There were a lot
let's
of
stay away from the politics.
Crowbarred stuff in there.
Let's just stick to the thing. Let's talk about the Doctor, Jodie Whittaker. She's missing something, and I think it's that granddad quality.
No, I don't think she's missing that. She's missing. I think she's got the granddad quality. She hasn't got the darker
authority
side. She hasn't got the yet. She hasn't got it yet, because I think she will. There wasn't the switch. There wasn't the. You know, like, I mean, it was an incredibly bad episode, but it's an example of it. You remember the episode with the rings of Ackerton? It was called. It was a crappy episode, right? But he was being very Matt Smith was all over the place in that episode till that last fucking 5 minutes, when he probably made one of his greatest speeches, and he switched, and there was this malice. There was this anger there. There was this. There was 900 years of other Doctors there, all there, and that wasn't there when she went, I'm the Doctor. And it was partly the missing music, and it was partly that she didn't there was no dark there, and there should have been that little touch of darkness that's bubbling under the surface.
It's like David Tennant with the Satsuma and the cigarette leader.
Yes.
Where he turns around and he goes, no second chances on that kind of Doctor.
And that was great. But then he switches again, and I don't think that's her acting skill. I think that's partly the writing. I think it's partly the direction. But there were moments when I forgot what. I wasn't looking at the woman. I was looking at the Doctor. There were moments, and I'm still not 100% sold, but I'm not unsold, if that makes any sense. The biggest issue with this episode isn't her, and I knew that was going to be the case.
Yeah, I will say that too.
I think she needs some time to get into the role. The thing is, when I first saw the 11th Hour,
he got in very quickly. Didn't
he? I really didn't like it at first, and I didn't. No, at first.
Oh, that's fine.
And that's because I don't do change, and it took me a few episodes, and I loved Tennant, and I loved him. I have gone back and watched that episode again and gone, this episode's fucking genius.
It is genius.
And I didn't see what everybody was banging on about at first, but then I'll go back again and I watched it again. And I love Matt Smith. And I saw what everybody said. And Matt Smith now became my favourite Doctor because of the new era. And I would say he's almost my favourite Doctor of all the eras because he nailed it. I don't dislike her. I don't.
No, I don't dislike her.
And I think she can work. And I think you're going to forget, as long as they don't keep fucking throwing in all this bullshit about reminding me how great they are. I know. I don't care. I just want to like the Doctor.
Keith, I don't think you're going to escape that.
I know, and it's pissed me off.
So
because I don't need to be told. I know.
Okay,
I'm a Doctor Who fan.
Okay, Nigel, what did you think of Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor?
I thought she was right, actually.
Is that it?
Well, no, I don't think he's wrong.
Excuse me, is I dying here?
That's it, opinion open. Right. Opinion's open. No, I thought she was right. I thought it was better than when Capaldi took over because he was like a senile old man who, for 6-7 episodes, hadn't a clue who he was and all that sort of stuff. Fine, I don't mind it spreading over a span of an episode, which is what we said back then when he took over. But dragging it out that long was fucking annoying. In this one, much better, a bit swifter. She was bumbling around a little bit at first, and she was she knew that she had this overlying urge to help people. if you remember that, from when she was in the train, which made you think, all right, she's sort of figured out who she was. And then somebody said to her, but you're a woman. And she went, what? To realise that she changed from a man to a woman, you know? So there was that. I quite like that.
Okay.
It's not out of context.
No, that one wasn't. It was all her lines.
No, that's fine, and I feel that should have been really the only reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, except for when she was choosing her clothes. But I did like the bit when she chose the clothes, and she opened it up, and she came out, and they both went, "What? You're going with that?" I thought that was fun.
Yeah, but that is the Doctor again.
Exactly.
He's on the. You didn't need. I think what it is we're trying to attract new fans again. This thing of trying to attract new fans again. Look, Matt Smith's era attracted a shit ton of fans, and they didn't fucking do anything really that different. And it seems to me like they're trying to. All these lines about change and everything. You don't need it. It's Doctor fucking Who.
Okay.
I think even new fans know the Doctor regenerates.
All right.
There is change.
So
I thought it was fine.
No.
I didn't think it was, I didn't sit there and think at any point, God, this is shit.
No, I just cringed at some of her lines, which were blatant.
yeah. What was I going to say?
Yeah, true, yeah.
With as I said before, I don't quite buy her as the Doctor yet. I don't hate her, which is a good thing, which I'm really grateful for, because if I fucking hated her, big trouble. But it was okay. She lacks the, as Keith said, she lacks that kind of authoritative kind of streak that the other Doctors had, as in, I'm an authority, I know what I'm fucking doing, don't question me. Which they always just, when you backed them into a corner, that's what they came out with. The costume bit, I can see where Keith's coming from. The earrings, I don't like. No.
Well, no. There's a moment where he says to the whatever it was, blue teeth guy, says to her about not having a tiny brain, and she goes, I have a tiny brain. That could have been so switched. That if that line had been delivered in a sort of more, angry kind of simmering.
I think it would have been better if you turned around and goes, hang on a second, I'm not human. That would have worked.
Yes, that could have worked.
If you'd have turned around and gone, hang on, I'm not human. Time Lord brain, bigger on the inside.
That could have worked.
Yeah, I've done that line actually, Time Lord brain, bigger on the inside. More than once.
But that would have worked.
Yeah.
The brain's bigger on the inside.
Right, okay, so Jodie Whittaker, we're all a bit... She's not terrible. She's not quite the Doctor yet. We reckon she'll be the Doctor later. Fuck's sake, don't make it to episode 7. We have to wait for her to
I am
be the
more
Doctor.
convinced by her now
God, no,
than
please
I was
don't.
Capaldi at the beginning.
Capaldi was... I was waiting to find out that Capaldi was the Valyard.
Yeah, and it didn't happen.
Yeah. I was really waiting for him to turn around and change names. By the way, Valyard is Doctor of Law.
Yes.
Just as a pop quiz, hotshot. I don't
know what that means.
Right, there's supposed to be the Doctor's supposed to have one regeneration where he goes completely evil, and it's supposed to be his second from last regeneration.
Yeah.
And that character's called the Valyard, who tried screwing over the 5th Doctor.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s. So
they have mentioned the Valyard in an episode before.
But coming back to it, so
have they?
Yeah. So we've got the Doctor. So let's go through the companions. All right. This is where we can talk about Ryan and the fucking bike. The Ryan character, I thought they made look really fucking stupid, unnecessarily stupid.
Yeah, because they don't understand dyspraxia.
Yeah,
they were trying to be. They wrote something. We need to give him something. We need to be more. We need. Not only are we going to write every possible race in there, except forgetting one major race, but we've said this before. But we also need to be inclusive of disability. So we need to give one of them
a disability.
I
told you.
What's a really hip disability? Dyspraxia, without knowing anything about it. But that annoyed me because not officially diagnosed, but I have been told that they think I have dyspraxia.
Yeah, I've seen you play the drums.
Yeah, well, there you go. And that annoyed me because it was another crowbarred in. That was crowbarred.
It was when we saw the cast photo and we went, oh, they managed to get every colour of the rainbow. Hang on a second, if you just pan down a bit, you'll see the guy in the wheelchair. Well, they managed to do that. The problems I think was a real disservice. If the guy was just a bloody mechanic, yeah, and he was studying for his exams and he was just screwing up every time he was practicing, yeah, or an engineer or something, yeah. Driving test would have gone better, yeah. He's just, he just can't quite get it. All right, it's like he's a mechanic, but he can't drive a car.
Yeah, you didn't.
That would have been a bit more interesting. You don't just say dyspraxia or anything. You just say that the guy. It's just like I'm a complete fucking screw up. How can I not drive a car? Yeah, that sort of thing. And
then the doctor could have sort of used that to take some his other qualities, because most dyspraxics are quite intelligent, and the doctor could have seen that and brought that out of him. It just felt crowbarred in, and look, I get, we should have more. I get it, the BBC. I get that we want to be more inclusive. You could have done that far more cleverly.
And the other thing too is it made the population of Sheffield seem, how can I put it, not the population of Sheffield, because I've been to Sheffield and that population that I saw on TV didn't represent.
You know the hills that they were walking on.
Yeah.
Right. I can tell you, I've walked there several times. There's no fucking wood underneath that suddenly looks like a wood out of Merlin.
Yeah.
Do you know, when he threw that bike,
it's a good throw.
I thought, well, that'll roll a little bit, because the way he threw it, he threw it and it will fall sideways. They made it look like it had gone for fucking miles.
Yeah, because there was no fucking wood
rolling.
Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it's suddenly in a wood in the top of a tree, and you're going, but there was no trees near it.
And this was...
All right.
Can I ask you one more thing, Nigel? Because this was... I know that Gareth picked up on it. In fact, we all had the same thought, although we didn't mention it till the end. When you ever seen cranes operating at night?
Yeah.
I mean...
Never.
I mean, with all the fucking health and safety bullshit... And Tanis pointed out that Gareth's wife at the beginning, when they were sitting on the rock, that looked awfully fucking dangerous, yeah. And crane operators at night, I thought that health and safety rules and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
As soon as he said, "I'm going to work," I thought he was going to work in a warehouse, which would make sense.
Yeah. We have an alien, yeah, that's got a face covered in teeth. We believe that, but we don't believe the guy working late nights on the fucking crane.
Because of the bullshit
Absolutely.
isn't it?
That's the... I find that amazing. It's weird what breaks your immersion, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know what to expect. You know there's going to be aliens turning up. You buy the aliens, right? Yeah. Aliens with teeth on, even though... And funny enough, I think it was Tanith again that said something I've been thinking about. It's like going... I've seen this storyline.
Predator reference.
Predator. When they said two aliens fighting, I thought Aliens versus Predator, and then when that turned out to be
just hunting some dude,
and then that was like, okay, I've seen that in every other sci-fi show. There's always an alien race that had the hydrogen in Voyager or Hydrogen in Voyager. You've always
had the Predator. You had that episode, the fourth episode, I think, of Deep Space Nine, where they had someone who came through the wormhole was getting trapped.
Trek's fucking done it everywhere.
Yeah, they've done it loads of times.
And yeah, again, we were told by Chris Chibnall that there were going to be all these new aliens and new things. Yeah, that's one of the most done things. Again, it feels like there's a load of sci-fi tropes in here that have been done before, and there's no real originality. That's what I'm worried about.
I did like the CGI ball of whatever the fuck that was. That looked quite nice.
The effects.
Do you remember the CGI?
It feels like it's got higher production.
Yeah,
that's it. It just felt like it filmed a lot of stuff at night.
The CGI was better. Well, maybe, but
the CGI.
I thought the CGI was better. I'm just bugged by where's the fucking TARDIS? Where was the goddamn intro? If there's no fucking intro next week, the music, fuck off, Chris Chibnall.
Is that it? That's the deal breaker.
Yeah, it is a bit because it's Doctor Who. You can dick about with the format a bit. You can because that's what they do. But fucking, I want my music, I want my intro, and I want my fucking TARDIS back.
Okay. All right. So does it?
Yes.
Alien, Nige. What did you think? Yeah, the
alien. I didn't get his name.
Tim Joy or something, wasn't it? Tim Shaw.
Chimney.
It was
Chimney.
It sounded
Shaw.
like
She called him Tim Shaw.
Tim Shaw. That was. I love that bit.
No, that was good.
That was a really clever bit. I like that. Tim Shaw.
Yeah, I like that.
That was one of her most doctory moments.
Yes. No, I agree with you there. That was quite good.
Why was it Doctor?
It's just the way it's like she puts down the well.
She was taking the piss.
Taking the piss.
She was putting him down, wasn't she?
It's like the Captain Runaway from the Matt Smith one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that sent from something funny into something scary.
But it was a bit of a piss take, and it was very doctory to be kind of disrespectful in that kind of way. And I like that. I like that in sci-fi. It's why I love the dance-off moment in Guardians of the Galaxy. It still makes me fucking laugh. What are you doing? Dance-off, bro!
Okay, so let's talk about Yaz and I can't remember what
Bradley Walsh's character.
Bradley Walsh's
Grandad.
Grandad, who's going to be is going to be called Bradley Walsh's character
Who
until we get to know his name better.
Potentially is going to die.
At the end of the series.
Yep.
End of the series, so you can hit an emotional note.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Grandad.
who is potentially going to probably be the one that saves the TARDIS, and in doing so, you have to go in. I'm telling you now, this might be a completely wrong call, but I'm going to call it anyway. I think he is going to have to go back into the TARDIS. It's going to be a fucking Star Trek 2 kind of thing that then brings his cancer back. You know, he'll go into something that will. Because they made a point of him being in remission for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
They emphasised on that.
That's it.
So that's coming back.
It's like, oh, here you go, Bradley. Wear the red shirt.
I mean, I think the thing here that it just emphasises the writing isn't that clever, because Russell T Davies and Moffat hid things in plain sight, and they did it very, very well.
Yeah.
Everything here that this seems to be hiding, they've got big fucking neon signs going bing, 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 and it was like the Bradley Walsh cancer thing, the dude on top of the crane. I just got a feeling.
I don't think the dude on the crane is.
You might be right. It might have been a female thing, and I missed that. But I've got a feeling. But only it's the only, as I said, it's only the first episode. But I quite like Bradley Walsh so far. I thought he was quite good. Yaz.
She's okay.
I don't know if she did anything that really made her stand out.
She's okay.
She's kind of like the one that you have Bradley Walsh in the cancer thing. You have what's his face in the cancer and this Brexit thing. She was just okay. Maybe it's the first episode. You couldn't develop all the characters. She was just a copper that had been training for 2 years and wanted something more.
I want some adventure.
Well, we know what's about to happen. The Doctor's going to turn up, and you go, "Oh, you're going to go off with the Doctor." And the bit where they're all standing around, going, "Oh, she's going, okay, I'm going now." I was like, "Okay, well, we know what's about to happen. All three of them are going to get caught in the trap." And it's an episode of fucking Sliders. It is.
Yeah.
They got all whacked up into the thing, and the first thing they appeared in was in space. Well, she'll click her fucking fingers and save that day. Or a spaceship's going to come along and save them.
Or in a shock twist, they all die, and that's where Doctor Who ends.
Or in a twist that I would really, really like, the TARDIS go, and they appear in the TARDIS.
Yeah, they just
and then the TARDIS throws them out the door onto a planet and buggers off again. It's going to be her chasing the TARDIS for 10 episodes. It is.
Yeah.
And we don't need that. I know you want to do something original, Christian, but that isn't original.
Your first episode wasn't very original either. See, the other thing too is the Yaz character wanted something. Be careful what you wish for, sort of thing.
I knew though, going into this, my biggest problem was never going to be her, and I think by the end of it, I'm going to love her. It's just going to be frustration because he can't fucking write. Well, yeah. Not without using every fucking trope and cliche in the fucking sci-fi.
He didn't use a countdown timer.
Did he honestly, I think he's bought a book, sci-fi writing for dummies.
Yeah. It's yeah. There's been a lot of Doctor Who episodes, so repeating stuff is not.
I know, but the first episode, the 11th hour, even Capaldi's episode,
You loved fucking Capaldi's episode. You walked out of that and went, it was brilliant, it was amazing. I'm
I enjoyed that
not
episode.
Too sure.
I did enjoy that episode because at the end, but then, because earlier on I said I wasn't sure about him. I was after the first episode, and it was that fucking second episode, and then just dragging the shit out. It's like just making it. He's the Doctor. We don't need fucking 7 episodes of this. But the 11th hour was damn well near perfect, and it was my issue with change, possibly the mood I was in at the time. Going back and watching that episode again, the whole thing with Amy Pond at the beginning and the fish for fingers and custard that really they used throughout Matt Smith's here. No, that was perfectly executed. This wasn't, and I see what all the early reviews have been about. I get it now. This episode had a lot of issues, and I know what they're getting at.
Yeah,
it was reused. Obviously reused, and not even done up in new clothes. It was just the same clothes. You know, when at the end of the TARDIS thing, the first thing came to mind, Red Wolf.
Have you ever seen the Sylvester McCoy audition tapes?
No.
He's really good in them.
But he was a good Doctor.
He was a good Doctor. They put some other good actors against him, but you saw him do his audition tapes against these 2 other actors, and he was a really good Doctor because he sold it.
What's next on your format? Because I really want to talk about that end fucking weirdness.
I was going to just turn around and say the general production of it, because you say that it looks more expensive. It's just to change the film grade.
Yeah, but even that can make a difference.
I'll be honest with you, didn't look massively different. If you watch A Town Called Mercy, that's one of the movie of the week ones.
Oh yeah,
with
the
Ben
one
Browder.
with Ben Browder in it. Yeah,
yeah. I watched that recently. Looks pretty fucking good now. And that's quite old.
Did that episode work for you when you watched it again?
Yes, it did. It actually worked again. It worked better the second time round than it did the first time round.
Oh, that's interesting. I might watch something.
Go watch A Town Called Mercy. I'm not sure about the other ones, but definitely A Town Called Mercy worked for me again.
Yes, to me, always season 7 would be crap until the final episode.
All right, let's get into the fucking politics of it.
It's not the politics. It was what was that bullshit at the end?
So hang on, this is the first thing, yeah. The ethnic breakdown of Sheffield. Apparently, only one in 5 people is white in Sheffield.
Yeah, no,
and they're from London. That's how that works, apparently, because when they say diversity, they don't mean diversity. They don't mean to represent the British population. They mean to sideline part of the British population.
I know certain parts of it were filmed near Sheffield, but the only reference to link it really to Sheffield, other than all the accents, was the Sheffield Steel comment. Where else was there anything that's synonymous with Sheffield? Well, actually, there's quite a lot that's synonymous with Sheffield, and they completely left it
the
out.
Full Monty.
There was Full Monty, brass bands. There was no fucking snooker jokes. Come on, the Crucible, everybody. Where was the snooker joke? I mean, if you're going to do cliche fucking thing, you didn't even. That could have been set anywhere. That could have been set anywhere in the country.
It would have made more sense to set in London if they wanted the breakdown of people that they had.
Yeah, but they're trying to be inclusive in the north.
Although, if you think about the funeral,
that was really out of character for the Doctor. That was the most out of character thing for the Doctor ever.
Yeah.
Because the Doctor doesn't stick around.
Yeah,
doesn't even stick around for fucking Christmas. Barely sticks around for Christmas dinner.
Don't forget now, we now have a Doctor that's potentially. I know they're going to do this, but she's a woman.
Yeah, no, but the Doctor never stuck around for that shite.
But the Doctor is a woman now, and therefore more. I'm sorry, this is going to sound sexist, and it's not meant to. More in touch with her emotions, but I do feel that's where they're going with it, because it's another one of those really. Well, women are more emotional.
But hang on a second. You had the David Tennant. I'm sorry, you're dead. What he used to do. Yeah, it was annals. His 2 catchphrases were annalsy and I'm so sorry.
We've already seen him do something very cliche with the dyspraxia thing. Who's to mention they're not just going to draw out all the cliche women things?
Okay, are they going to do a thing about women can't load dishwashers?
I don't think they're going that far because they love women, but I think they're going with the cliches of women are more in touch with their emotions, bullshit, and all of that. And I'm really, I don't mean to sound sexist because I think that is sexist.
Yeah.
And I think they're going. They're so bothered about being inclusive. They've actually gone a completely the other way and I'm going to start being really sexist without meaning to be.
Yeah.
See, I figured that she stuck around for the funeral because she had nowhere to go, and she didn't have a TARDIS to jump into. She had
that
no
would have
way.
made sense at the end. She'd have turned around and goes, I've got nowhere to go. She'd have just turned around and goes, I've got nowhere to go. It's like, how am I going to get off this planet? And it's like...
Couldn't they have made her...
That's what I thought.
Given her more of a sense of loss. Because, again, if we're going to do this, let's do it properly. The Doctor has lost the TARDIS. There wasn't, oh, I've lost my TARDIS. Oh, I'm going to go and find it now.
Like I've misplaced my car keys.
It's like, hang on. If we're going to do this, at least fucking pay it some fucking grandness.
She could... The Doctor's also got the ability to summon the TARDIS.
Yes.
Anyway.
That's why I think it's bullshit.
But is it... Does he?
Yeah, the Doctor's has the ability to summon the TARDIS. They actually showed that in the fucking advert for Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah.
Her summoning the TARDIS.
Yes, the whole thing of her finding the TARDIS.
Do you remember she walked through the forest and goes like
that? By
that?
the way, same woods as that beginning episode.
Yeah.
Because at one point, I will admit, I thought, are we going to have the TARDIS regrown here? Because the shape of that fucking genie in a bottle thing, that could have been the TARDIS console. And I thought, hang on. Is the reason we haven't heard anything about the TARDIS because we're going to literally watch it grow back? Because we know the TARDIS is partly organic.
Yeah,
and
the size of a fucking solar system.
Yes, but it could have been
it's the size
growing.
Mate, it's the size of a solar system.
I know.
But the TARDIS is the size of a solar system.
I know it's bigger inside.
It's not big inside. It's fucking immense. It's like the Doctor. He goes, "You think it's big inside? It's because it's not big inside. It's fucking huge inside." At the centre of the TARDIS, is a giant star that's about to collapse into a black hole.
That's what.
And what it does is it suspends it as it's falling into the black hole and sucks all the energy out of it.
And Nigel, that's called the Eye of Harmony.
Yeah. Harmony.
Eye of who?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Harmony. I misheard you there. I thought you said the Eye of Harmony.
Harmony?
Armani. The Eye of Armani, because he's fucking Swish now.
Gee.
He's wearing all the best.
Whatever. The title bits at the end. You're supposed to show what the next episode is, or a collection from the next episodes. Instead of that, they just showed.
They
showed an advert after. There was an advert after.
What they did was show us every single fucking. They showed us every single fucking actor that's going to be in. There's like
all the diverse actors.
3 big name actors in there.
The only one that stuck out for me was Lee Mack and Art Malik.
There was Art Malik, Alan Cummings. Alan Cummings is quite well.
I was watching those actors and I was going, no idea. Oh, Lee Mack. Yeah, I know that.
Did you not know who Art Malik was?
No idea.
Art Malik.
Who?
Okay, you should know who Art Malik is. He is a. Did you ever watch True Lies? The Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because I know you should know him from that.
He's a terrorist
he's a terrorist in that. But he's a hit. Right,
I know the film.
He's a very big stage British Asian actor.
He was also in Holby City.
Yeah, he was
in Holby City.
Yeah, he was.
Ages.
I think so. Yeah, he was for. But he is quite a well-known stage and.
He was in some other things too. I can't fucking remember.
Shakespearean actor, I think. But he was in True Lies as the terrorist on the bike that rides through the hotel mall thing and then does that jump into the swimming pool.
I feel that if they were going to put the names of actors that are appearing, they should have done only the people who are appearing in that episode. I didn't even
understand why they're doing it, because it's like, well, again, I think Gareth's right. It's the inclusive thing, because there are loads of actors. Okay, there's a couple of actors in there recognised from British TV, but there's not like, okay, there isn't one other actor in there that the woman, which I think is in next week's episode. She was in Ready Player One for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
She was the auntie of the guy that she gets killed when the stacks are blown up. And she's been in a few other films, but nothing like, massively famous. She's an Irish actress. But there weren't that many people, like, if you're going to do that, it's like, oh, look who we've got. They got the guy out of, what's her face? The the good wife, the husband in The Good Wife. That was the American actor at the end. Now he's quite famous in America, but he was the husband in The Good Wife. If you ever watched The Good Wife, I don't know.
Fixing. Okay, I didn't like that at all because that spoke volumes about what's going on. Now here comes a funny thing. I've been watching the history of Doctor Who just to understand what the fuck went wrong with the original series and why it got cancelled. Okay, and there's a guy, who kind of got lumbered with Doctor Who. A guy called John Nathan Turner. Now, what happened was that he was like a on-set producer. On-site producer thing, and then he was just lumbered with Doctor Who, and then he took it over. And the funny thing about it was that he got quizzed on TV by a little shit by the name of Chris Chibnall. And what I'm hoping is that Chris Chibnall will turn up on TV and be interviewed by another little shit, and then him to go on and produce Doctor Who. And I also found out that when Doctor Who finished, this is just a little thing. When Doctor Who finished, they were started doing the Big Finish audio things, and they had Russell T Davies, Mark Gatiss, Stephen Moffat, and someone else. I can't remember who the other one was, Graham Thompson or something along those lines. And Stephen Moffat was being such a little shit on it because he only wanted to write for Paul McGann. And they couldn't get Paul McGann because Paul McGann's agent wouldn't pass the invite on from Big Finish to them. And then he turned up a couple of years later, and he was like, "Why would I turn this down?" And he went, "Well, you turned it down the first time because I never knew the first time."
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. So
we're obviously going to be talking about this over the coming weeks.
All right, let's give it out of 10. Yeah, out of
Rating?
10.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. Right now, just note, that my out of 10 operates on a bell curve. 5 being completely average and okay. 10 being something which is a massive fucking outlier which you'll never see. You need to go see this, and 0 is like kind of fucking don't waste your time because you will never get it back. Yes.
Pass it by.
So, because most people set averages at 7, my average is at 5.
I've got a number in my head.
Okay, let's
have
start
a number
with
in my
Nigel.
head. Now, I will say...
Come on.
Now, I'm going to give it a solid
You can give
7.
solid 7. Is that on my scale, where 5 is average?
On your scale. I'm using your scale. And that's because, although it wasn't exciting, like some Doctor Who's can be, it actually kept the kids' interest. And I think it's got legs. And I think it will get better. That's why I feel I can't give it an 8 because it wasn't exciting. But a 7 is a good solid 7 because it got the kids actually sitting watching.
I was going to be more Gareth-like here and give it... the minute Gareth said it, I was 6.
6. Okay.
Because for me, it's just better than average. But it got the kids, so it's got an extra point. So 7.
Okay. Do you know who I'm going to give it?
4.
Yeah. Gonna give it a 4. Can I picture myself rewatching this episode on Netflix? No. Can I picture myself going onto my DVR and rewatching this episode? No. Can I just take it? Can I just leave the episode? Yeah, I can leave the episode. I'm hoping that the scale was picked small, so the scale at the end can be big. I'm hoping that this will be the lowest score throughout the series, and it will go up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think there's going to be the odd dud. Because there always is in a Doctor Who season.
Yeah, there usually is, isn't there?
I hope you are right. I just got a feeling for the next couple... I don't... There are going to be things that I'm going to love about it, but there are going to be things that annoy me about it. I think you are right that the rewatchability of this... I was just thinking about it now. Usually, a first episode, I'll go back and watch again. I'm thinking... I might go and sort of flash through it, kind of, but I won't rewatch the whole thing. There's just too much in it.
Yeah.
Every time she makes a line about, oh, it's new and you shouldn't worry, and no, change is good and you shouldn't worry about it. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Stop condescending me, you bastards.
Mm. Yeah. I'm worried that there's going to be such an injection of identity politics into it.
I feel that they may have. Yeah, they've done that a fair bit in this episode, and I'm hoping and I feel that this will be the only episode because it's kicking everything off, and so they just get it out of the way.
We're
gonna have with it.
We're gonna have the racism episode, the sexism episode, the disability, the ableist episode. Did I say and the homophobic episode?
Oh yeah, we'll get.
So there's 4 episodes of potential shite there.
This is Chris Chibnall making every political fucking bullshit BBC statement.
It's when he turns around and says, "I've got Ryan Johnson to direct the last episode of Doctor Who." It's when I cry.
That'll be when I go and find him and slap him. Seriously, I'm going to go down to BBC Wales because I know where they film this shit, and I demand to see Chris Chibnall, and I'm just going to get my glove and I'm going to smack him with my glove.
Oh, and the other thing is, I've got a feeling that Russell T Davies doesn't like Chris Chibnall.
Yeah, I've got that feeling.
Because if you hear him talk about every writer on Doctor Who, there's only a few that he says he doesn't like. Like Mark Gatiss. Oh, I love Mark Gatiss, blah, blah, he's amazing, blah, blah. You know what lovies do? But he's never said that about Chris Chibnall. It's like it's like he describes Stephen Moffat as really awkward to work with.
Russell T Davies is a proper lovey, trust me.
I wish he came back.
Yeah, he was awesome. Okay. I think we will leave it there because I've got to go to sleep, guys. I've got an early start.
No, when he says he's got to go to sleep, I've got an injection for him downstairs.
That's what you do to
H12s,
is that?
Yeah, anyway. Bye.
It's bye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Wait, don't.
Thanks for downloading the Monkey Nut Punch podcast. You can follow us on Twitter @Monkey Nut Punch. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Monkey Nut Punch.